Hi, my favorite seventh graders. We're going to be talking today about lesson 37. It's on page 219. This is kind of the lesson we talked about in class, but I'm just going to recap it. We're talking about area. So as we recapped in class, right, the area, you need to be writing this down in your notes because this is one that comes up all the time. The area, area of a rectangle equals length times width, right? We talked about this. So this is our rectangle, and you can do length here, width here, it doesn't matter, either one, you can swap them around. But as I showed you in class, if I cut this bad boy in half, I have a triangle, right? So the area of a triangle is the same as area of triangle is length times width, or you can even call it base times height divided by 2. Okay, so there is a key here though. When we're dealing with triangles, the base, so I would actually write it as, area of triangles, you should do base times height divided by 2, because you'll see that referenced over and over again. So you've got your two formulas down. Let's talk about those triangles. The reason being is, if I have a triangle like this, and I have 5 here and 10 here, 5 here and 10 here, the base is this guy, so the area equals 5 times 10 divided by 2. 5 times 10 gives us 50. Area equals 50 divided by 2, which gives us area equals 25 units. Since I didn't specify what they are, just write units squared. When we're dealing with area, you got to throw that squared in there. Here is why. What we're doing is we're taking 5 units times 10 units. Unit times unit gives us unit squared. So that's really important. Your labels are really important on these. Now, I didn't mean to erase that. There is another way of doing this. I said that this was 10, this was 5. The other way of doing this is to take one of these guys, I just jabbed right on it, one of these guys and cut them in half at the beginning. Instead of multiplying the two together and then cutting in half, let's cut this in half at the start. 5 times 5, because half of 10 is 5, would be 25 units squared. That's another way of doing it. Now, when dealing with triangles, here's the other thing. The base times the height, they have to form a right angle. So, like this triangle that I have here, this base is 5. This slanty bit is 10, but that's not our height. We can't use that. I was trying to make it like, so that's our 10, right? Our base and our height have to make a right angle. Again, a right angle looks like this, right? So what we would actually have to do is this height right here. And let's say that height is 9, okay? Or let's make it easier. Let's make it 8, okay? So the area of the triangle is gonna be, so area equals 8 times 5, because that's where it makes that right angle, okay? It's gotta be the two things that make the right angle, divided by 2, which gives me 40 divided by 2, which gives me 20 units squared. I'm staring at you because you best be putting your units on there, okay? So let's try some examples to see what happens. Oh, the other one was area of a rectangle. We've got an area of a rectangle like this guy. All right, so we have 10 here, we have 20 here, 14 here, 5 here. There are two different ways to do this. The way that I showed in class was, all right, let's say we find the area of the entire rectangle, right? That's gonna be big minus small will give us the area of the shape that we want. The big rectangle here, those dimensions are, let's say that these are all in meters, because that's what it says in the book, meters. So the dimensions of the big one are 10 meters times 20 meters, which gives us 200 meters squared. 10 times 20 is 200. Meters times meters gives me meters squared. Now we've got this little tiny guy right here, this shaded bit, this shark bite, that's the small. Well, you see that this whole thing is 10 right here. That means that this guy has to be 5, because 5 plus 5 would give us 10, and this whole thing, like we said, has to equal 10. Same here, this has to equal 20. This bit right here is 14, which means this bit has to be 6. So the dimensions of the small one are 6 meters times 5 meters, which gives me 30 meters squared. 30 meters squared. So when we take that big one and we minus the small one, 200 meters squared minus 30 meters squared gives me 170 meters squared. Okay, the big thing that I want you to take away from today are those units. And that we can break apart our rectangles. The other way we can do it is, so the guy looked like this, right? This little guy. What we could have also done is break it apart like this, and we could say, hey, let's find the area of this one and then add it to the area of that. That is also fine as well. Either method will work. Okay, guys. So do those practice problems that we started them in class today. I'm going to have you keep working on those practice problems and go around and double check to make sure that you've got them all correct. Instead of doing it here, because there's a bunch of different ones. It's like sketch a triangle and see if you can figure this part out. So we'll double check on those in class. All right, guys, thank you so much.